If freedom is to survive and prosper, it will require the sacrifice, the effort and the thoughtful attention of every citizen. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. If more politicians knew poetry, and more poets knew politics, I am convinced the world would be a little better place in which to live. Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future. The success of this government, and thus the success of our nation, depends in the last analysis upon the quality of our career services. In the Chinese language, the word crisis is composed of two characters, one representing danger and the other, opportunity. Rising tide lifts all boats. We must never forget that art is not a form of propaganda, it is a form of truth. In serving his vision of the truth, the artist best serves his nation. This world cannot afford to be materially rich and spiritually poor. We celebrate the past to awaken the future. A nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces but also by the men it honors, the men it remembers. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of the growth. We must use time as a tool, not as a couch. We must think and act not only for the moment but for our time. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. It is an unfortunate fact that we can secure peace only by preparing for war. The unity of freedom has never relied on uniformity of opinion. The one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable or certain. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Libraries should be open to all, except the censor. You must be idealistic without any illusions. We need men who can dream of things that never were. A person should do what he likes and not what the society. A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, and that is the basis of all human morality. We are connected to the earth, and we are to meet in the earth itself. Once you say you're going to settle for second, that's what happens to you in life, I find. A boy spends his time finding a girl to sleep with. A real man spends his time looking for the one worth waking up to. There is, in addition to a courage with which men die, a courage by which men must live. Society of the must never lose that youthful zest for new ideas and for a better world, which has made us great. Not every child has an equal talent, but they should have the equal right to develop, to make something of themselves. Every inhabitant of this planet must contemplate the day when this planet may no longer be habitable. War destroy everything. Sincerity is always subject to proof. Great crises produce great men and great deeds of courage. those who work and contribute to the greatness of the nation, but those who question the contribution help to understand that much. When you are tired, poetry and music heal your wounds. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Victory has 100 fathers and defeat is an orphan. Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger men. Liberty without learning is always in peril, and learning without liberty is always in vain. Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. We cannot negotiate with people who say what's mine is mine and what's yours is negotiable. If not us, who? If not now, when? Art is the great democrat, calling forth creative genius from every sector of society, disregarding race or religion or wealth or color. The ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. A child miseducated is a child lost. The supreme reality of our time is the vulnerability of our planet. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. Things do not happen, things are made to happen. There are risks and costs to action, but they are far less than the long-range risks of comfortable inaction. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. The greater our knowledge increases, the more our ignorance unfolds. Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. The goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth. Man is still the most extraordinary computer of all. If we cannot now end our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. The best road to progress is freedom's road. History is a relentless master. It has no present, only the past rushing into the future. To try to hold fast is to be swept aside. Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures. Our problems are man-made, therefore they may be solved by man. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. Life is never easy. There is work to be done and obligations to be met, obligations to truth, to justice, and to liberty. Too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. We have the power to make this the best generation of mankind in the history of the world, or make it the last. When power leads man toward arrogance, poetry reminds him of his limitations. When power narrows the area of man's concern, poetry reminds him of the richness and diversity of existence. Our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is our fundamental resource. Courage in life often lasts till the last moment of life. The great enemy of truth is very often not the lie, deliberate, contrived and dishonest.